You want to get the open week and get some rest, but many times we see the upsets happen with a team that won the week before and has momentum on its side.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And now a look at the Washington defense.
Landon Collins is built like your typical tackle-first safety, but he does have the ability to play the deep part of the field.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. From 3 yards out, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs. So much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was really easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. Newton now already at 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage just come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
And they can't corral him. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber and runs like this early.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that... didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted. It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. They come out here in the eye. Geis, they'll try to run it. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Second down and goal. Newton, this is caught. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Redskins have taken the lead. Lambo on for the extra point.
As a former defender, I would be angry as well. Could not get off the field. Well-executed offensive drive. No matter what the defense tried, they couldn't stop them.
So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And for them, maybe a little carryover from last week's game. They got the win on the road in the wild card round, on the road here again in the divisional round, but they're hanging tough.
Hey, cue a little music, right? A little on the road again. I mean, this has been kind of the mantra they're under right now, and they can't change it. The season dictated what would happen with them, right? They had to go on the road for the first round for the playoffs. They're on the road again, and sometimes teams get really comfortable with that. Not only the idea of going on the road and shocking the world, but just, hey, it's just us. We don't have to worry about outside distractions. It's just us. Let's go play.
It becomes that us against the world mentality, doesn't it?
And while it may be overplayed, you know, in the media, it's real when it comes time to play ball.
Pass on target, Prescott to Cooper. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On the counter, Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain.
Instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there? Yeah, maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
Here's Elliott. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. 3rd and short yardage. Prescott over the middle, complete. That's Young. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins 21. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. On 2nd and a yard, Prescott.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to
get it in from a yard out. As they are an extra point away now from Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now, so you're not protecting a lead, so you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again, so maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
An excellent year, obviously, because they got the open week, had the bye. But the one thing you always worry about, the rust factor. And I had a coach say to me one time, often think about scrimmaging so you're ready to go the next week, but you know you can't. So you cross your fingers and hope your guys are ready to roll.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Escaping the pressure right. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. DeMarcus Lawrence just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's the Redskins in possession of the football as they've got it with a second down coming up. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Terry McLaurin, 45 yards, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches, and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your turkey bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Prescott to throw it. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Montez Sweat providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They've been able to move the ball well in the air, and certainly a big reason why those receiving corps have been excellent.
There's no doubt about it, partner. And let's face it, when they get away from defenders, those guys are quick. And when they go over the top of people and use their bodies, they're just thick. But let's face it, what we're seeing right now are catches that are simply sick.
Well, you brought your A game. You're fired up over those catches, aren't you?
Can't help it. Even as a former defensive back, I've got to tip my cap to these guys. They are balling.
I appreciate that. Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Kelvin Harmon, 56 yards. And the Redskins get the quick strike touchdown. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Dak and the Cowboys ready for their next possession. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a 1st.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film. That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. This is Geis. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now it's Newton, eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep rights. And got his man complete. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Newton now to throw. Connects here with a tight end, Jeremy Sprinkle. Touchdown, Washington! Jeremy Sprinkle, he scored on the ground and through the air. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Charles, that was a heck of a play.
It truly was, because when he made that catch, he had to shake through some people, right? So that play, to me, a highlight film that should be accompanied by bass music, right? I mean, boom, 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 and he finds his way to the end zone. Terrific play.
Lambo to add on the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And one thing we haven't pointed out yet, probably should, you got a dome team on the road, January, cold weather. How tough is that, or is that something that really shouldn't come into play?
Well, it shouldn't come into play, but let's face it, if you've been a dome team all year and used to controlled environment, you need to get yourself outside a little bit for practice during the week, and that's what most of these teams do, because just because they play in a dome doesn't mean they don't have bad weather outside to work in. So they can do that, get their guys acclimated, and then that way, it takes it all away when you get to game day in a foreign place.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now an open man. That's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They run the counter. Elliott. He can't get him down. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Prescott from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That's a double win there, partner. You keep out of the return man's hands, and you pin him inside the 5-yard line. Pretty darn good.
They start on the ground with Geis. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. That had disaster written all over. Downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Now Prescott. Now a short one to Gesicki, and he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Well, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. The Redskins have the first down on a pickup of 18.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the
pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. DeMarcus Lawrence showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw, Newton. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up.
Taking it right down Broadway. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Darius Geis, 44 yards. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on third down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, picked up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
Lambeau on for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by a Darius Geis touchdown run. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Prescott on first down. Now a short one to Gesicki. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. And the Redskins scoop it. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Lambeau to add on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now Dak Prescott and the offense heading back onto the field. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Elliott. And some space here. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And the Redskins scoop it. Shedding the tackler that gives him some room. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Cam Newton with his 5th touchdown pass of the game as his guys continue to pour it on. And he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
That could be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick
different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle them up at different levels, that front line's got to take care of business. Otherwise, he starts to sip through.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the